I read your comment. I know you've been wondering, can I be a pro wrestler if? I'm Mike Quackenbush, and this is Till We Make It. Throughout the decades of my career, I've been very fortunate because I've worked in front of the cameras as a professional wrestler, referee, ring announcer, and commentator. And I have worked behind the scenes too, as a promoter, booker, agent, coach, and consultant. And if you are never done learning about the craft of professional wrestling, this is the place for you. Go ahead, join the Till We Make It tribe. Subscribe down below right now. Or if you're never done jamming pro wrestling knowledge into your brain, come get a heaping helpful over on my Patreon. There's a link down below in the descriptus, and for as little as $5 a month, you can get instant access to our private Discord. You'll see more than 200 exclusive posts, including 50 some odd videos I've never shown here on the channel. You'll even get early access to upcoming Till We Make It's before the rest of the world has a chance to see them. Go ahead and follow the link down below. We'd love to have you join us. The title of today's video is intentionally open-ended because the variations on this question are vast. And whether it's down below in the comments section or in my inbox one way or another, I get hit with a few of these every single week. So let's start by tackling the most common of the variations. Can I be a pro wrestler if I live in Sri Lanka, I live in Moldova, I live in Peru, I live in some country that is not thought of as a traditional or emerging wrestling hotbed? Can I still be a pro wrestler? Yeah. I guess I should go into more detail. You know, now more than ever, being from a slightly exotic locale is seen as attractive by wrestling companies like the WWE. They stage tryout camps all over planet Earth. And they love to brag about it when they've hired someone from Saudi Arabia or Croatia or Singapore. Sidebar. A couple months back, I got a message from an aspiring pro wrestler who lives in Brunei. And let me now prove to you what an ignoramus I am. I have no idea where Brunei is. Is it in South America? Is it in Asia? I didn't know. So I asked and he said, oh, it's near Borneo. And I don't know where that is either. So whether you are from Sri Lanka or Croatia or Brunei, I want you to know that your nationality isn't relevant to your ability to become a professional wrestler or get signed to a contract by a major organization. But your location might be relevant. Because, let's just use Croatia as an example, if you are in Croatia and you don't have access to good training, if there are no means by which you can network or perform in Croatia, then your location is relevant. But that doesn't mean it's your nationality. I don't know of a credible wrestling training center on Earth, or even some which are less than credible, that have a "we don't train Croatians" policy. That doesn't exist anywhere. It's not your nationality which is relevant, but it might be your location. Granted, I'm choosing Croatia because I don't know of any wrestling training centers there, but if you're watching this right now and you are in Croatia feeling like, well then, what do I do? Well, maybe you're going to take that 3-hour ferry ride across the Adriatic Sea to Italy and seek out training there. And I did look it up online. There are 4 different ferry companies that will take you right from Croatia across to Italy. The ride lasts about 3 hours. You can book tickets online in less than 5 minutes. And many of them actually had options where you can bring your car along so that when you hit port in Italy, you drive your car right off the boat and just go right to training, which I think is pretty awesome. All right, enough said on that topic. Let's move on to the second most frequent of these variations I get hit with. Can I be a pro wrestler if I suffer from a very specific medical condition and then fill in the name of very specific medical condition here? Can I still be a pro wrestler if I have this? Here's what you need to know. There is no impersonal video you'll find on YouTube and no amount of swimming around in online forums that's going to get you a personalized answer to the question, can I be a wrestler if I have asthma? Can I be a wrestler if I have scoliosis? Can I be a wrestler if I was born with 7 fingers? The answer to that question will be found in a discussion you're going to have with your doctor, with your primary care physician. You're going to speak to them about your desire to train for professional wrestling, and then listen very closely as they outline the potential risks and maybe even their objections. I hate to be bearing bad news here, but I've had people say to me they aren't comfortable having that conversation with their physician. And I'm of the belief that if you aren't mature enough to have a real conversation about that with your own doctor, then you are certainly not mature enough for professional wrestling. Sorry. As someone who's trained professional wrestlers for the last 20 years or so, I can tell you the first thing any coach will ask for is something in writing from your doctor which says you are clear for regular, rigorous athletic activity. And without that clearance from your doctor, I can't say I could name a single wrestling training center that's just going to take a chance on you. In addition to which, expect to sign a waiver which waives their responsibility if something should happen to you while you are training as an additional layer of protection. That's standard issue protocol. The simple truth of the matter is, you are unlikely to find any good medical advice on social media or by asking Jeeves. People still do that, don't they? They ask Jeeves. You gotta have a chat with a person who knows your medical history. I've got to include this one. Can I be a pro wrestler if I am only 5'2"? I only weigh 130 pounds. I can only bench press 15 kilos. I can only run on the treadmill for 20 minutes, etc. Can I be a pro wrestler if any of these things are true? Yeah, you can, because pro wrestlers come in all shapes, sizes, and conditions. There have been petite wrestlers like Chaparita Asari or Rey Mysterio Jr., and there have been hulking giants like the Great Khali or Omos. And there have been wrestlers who come in already in great physical condition, while others develop great physical condition as part of their journey. No example more readily springs to my mind than that of Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli. When I go back and look at some of our earliest matches together from Germany in 2003, and I compare them to what he looks like now, his transformation is mind-blowing. He didn't always look like Cesaro. It took him years of hard work to transform into his peak form. And in each of the intervening years between then and now, he constantly showed signs of improvement. But he didn't just wake up one day looking like this phenomenal athlete. This took a lot of time and hard work. Okay, time for some real talk here till we make a tribe. And sorry if parts of this video have been coming out harsher than average. But these things need to be said. If you want to convince yourself that the country where you live, or your height, or your weight, or your physical condition, or maybe even your medical condition, is the reason that you simply can't be a professional wrestler, odds are it isn't one of those factors that's defeating you. You have defeated you. I've trained an encyclopedia's worth of professional wrestlers who showed up in all shapes and sizes. They came to my front door with disabilities, medical conditions, some physical, some mental, you name it. And they came from every corner of the globe. And any one of those factors, they could have chosen to perceive that as a stopping point, as a blockade to achieving their dream, but none of them did. We found a path around those obstacles so they could chase the thing that was most important to them, and so can you. Believe me, I know what it is like when others' limiting beliefs are imposed on you. Because I was just a teenager when I decided to become a professional wrestler. And do you think I got any support whatsoever from my parents, my family, my teachers, or guidance counselors at school? Absolutely not. I didn't just get zero. I got negative support. I got active resistance from all of those sources, and I did not let that stop me. So I get it. Your friends say you can't be a pro wrestler because you're from Serbia. Your family says you can't be a pro wrestler because you have a heart arrhythmia. Your classmates tell you you can't be a professional wrestler because you only weigh 129 pounds. Don't let their limiting beliefs become your limiting beliefs. I'm not here to sugarcoat any of this for you. If you live in Serbia, it's possible you might have to go to another country to seek out credible wrestling training. That's possible. If you suffer from a heart arrhythmia, you may have to have a very honest conversation with your doctor about what you can and cannot do in the ring. That is possible. And if you only weigh 129 pounds, it might be time to start in on that protein-rich diet so you start adding some muscle mass onto that frame of yours. That's possible, but none of these things instantly rule out your ability to chase your pro wrestling dream. If you need to start in on the physical part of pro wrestling right now by seeking out a place to train, here's that video I alluded to earlier about finding training when it seems as if there are no options near you. And if you're ready to dive into the psychological part of being a professional wrestler, grab my book, 7 Keys to Becoming a Better Performer, a book for fellow pro wrestlers. Amazon makes it available worldwide. And hey, a big thank you to all my awesome patrons.